Cedar Hill, Texas is one of those cities that's often overlooked, and I really haven't understood why that's the case. Cedar Hill has some of the best recreation that you're going to find all across the DFW Metroplex, and it has a lot of other qualities that I think that you're going to enjoy. So today we're going to do a deep dive and check out Cedar Hill's history, what it's like to live in Cedar Hill, and we're also going to look at the affordability, the lifestyle, and real estate, which this is going to allow us to compare Cedar Hill to other cities in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. So if you're looking to move to Cedar Hill, Texas, or just want to learn more about the city, this is the video for you, because we're covering everything you need to know about Cedar Hill, Texas. Cedar Hill is located southwest of Dallas, and at one point was considered the southernmost part of the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. But then Midlothian started growing drastically, so that's no longer the case. Cedar Hill has one main access to the DFW Metroplex via Texas Highway 67. Now, if you're trying to get to a bigger city such as Fort Worth to check out the Fort Worth Zoo, you're looking at a 35-minute commute. And if you're trying to get to Dallas to check out the Perot Museum, you're looking at 20 minutes. Now, if you need to catch a flight at the DFW International Airport, that's a 30-minute commute. Now, I share those heavily frequented locations because at one point or another, if you're going to live in the DFW Metroplex, you're going to go to Fort Worth, you're going to go to Dallas, and you're going to go to the airport. But to give you a more day-to-day outlook on the commute, check out how far you can travel away from Cedar Hill within 30 minutes, which essentially means that you can cover the southeastern part of the DFW Metroplex within 30 minutes. And now that we know where in the world Cedar, Texas even is, I want to welcome you to the DFW Homeowner YouTube channel, the go-to real estate channel for the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. My name is Jaime Resendez, your local realtor and team leader, able to help you make money in real estate whether you're buying or selling. And we're on a mission to reach every DFW resident. So if you can hit that like button, that's going to really help us out. All right, now back to Cedar Hill, because this is what you came for. Cedar Hill is located in both Dallas and Ellis Counties. The city was founded in 1846 by a small group of settlers from Kentucky and Alabama. They came to the area in search of land where they could raise cattle and grow crops, which quickly made Cedar Hill a thriving community, which is the case present day given that Cedar Hill continues to be a rapidly growing city and has a population of 48,000. And one of the biggest drivers for that growth is not only the businesses that are coming into the city, but it's also the number of parks and recreational facilities which are making it an ideal place to live, work, and play. So to add some additional context to Cedar Hill, I want to introduce an external resource in niche.com, which interprets millions of public data sets on cities all across the country and gives them a grade. And as you can see, Cedar Hill has received a B+ grade from Niche, having aggregated the 12 categories you see on the screen, which is the grade given by the algorithm. However, what are current and past residents of Cedar Hill saying? Well, according to 291 of them, they give Cedar Hill a 4 out of 5 stars. So yes, Cedar Hill is highly rated. Now, this report that you just saw is super elaborate, so I'm going to link it down below so you can check it out, because now we need to talk about that recreation we were speaking on earlier. Cedar Hill offers 32 neighborhood and community parks and a system of greenbelts just shy of 2,500 acres, plus over 36 miles of trails. Now, a fun fact that represents Cedar Hill's strong foothold on recreation is that over 2 million visitors visit the 1,800-acre Cedar Hill State Park, making it the second most visited recreation destination in Texas. So yes, Cedar Hill takes its recreation scene quite seriously. And something else that Cedar Hill takes quite seriously, it's its school system, which is something that we should as well, given that the school system matters. It impacts your property taxes, and also it impacts resale values. Cedar Hill ISD serves over 7,600 students, and it's one of the largest employers in the city with over 900 employees. And it's also quite diverse given the 13 languages represented across the 11 campuses. And of course, it wouldn't be a Texas high school unless we flex the football state titles, which came in 2006, 2013, and 2014. Now, if you're more of a stats person, check out the students per teacher ratio of 16:1, which is a little bit higher than the state average. And when it comes to the percentage of teachers with 3 or more years of experience, you're looking at 84%, which is right on par with the state average. Now, there's some things that I, as a real estate agent, am not able to cover from a school perspective. So I'm going to leave a link down below so you can check out Cedar Hill ISD in detail. But something that I'm very qualified to cover is the Chick-Fil-A situation. Is there a Chick-Fil-A in Cedar Hill? And I'm happy to report that yes, there is a Chick-Fil-A in Cedar Hill, and one that I've gone to time and time again. All right, so I'm only half joking about the Chick-Fil-A situation. While it is important for me, it may not be important for you, but that's okay, because now we're going to talk about some real estate. Because regardless if you're a renter or a homeowner, real estate impacts your quality of life. So let's start off with a macro perspective. The typical home value of homes in Cedar Hill is $337,317. This value is seasonally adjusted and only includes the middle price tier of homes. Now, Cedar Hill home values have gone up 25.5% over the past year. That is not a typo. Now, as you can see, real estate prices had gone up over the last 10 years, but nothing like what we experienced over the past 12 months. Now, for those of you that were holding off on purchasing until the prices came down, you might be getting your wish soon. And now that we know that the median home value for Cedar Hill is $338,000, let's compare that with the surrounding cities. For Duncanville, the median home value is $300,000. For DeSoto, it's $350,000. For Glen Heights, it's $353,000. For Ovilla, it's $513,000. Quick side note, Ovilla is one of my favorite cities, by the way. Midlothian, $474,000. And Dallas, the median home value is $337,000. So as you can see, Cedar Hill is right in the thick of things when you factor in the median home value. But that number alone on a screen may not mean that much to you. Let's take it one step further and show you what type of home you can purchase for that median home value. All right, folks, I waited a long time for me to stay relatively unbiased. This is where I have to inject a little bit more bias into the equation. Cedar Hill is quite awesome. You get Joe Pool Lake right next door, and the homes around the lake are incredible. They rival any other lakeside homes anywhere. But with that being said, the homes that you just saw, by the time you're watching this video, are most likely not available. So to get the most current list of our preferred homes in Cedar Hill, check out the link down below. Now, it's also a great time to remind you of the mortgage payment that comes with a property of this size. So I want you to check out this video that helps you calculate the monthly mortgage payment on a home in Cedar Hill, which, if you're coming from out of state, is mandatory watching, given that property taxes are a little bit different here because we have some of the highest property taxes in the country, so you need to be aware. But in all fairness, remember that we do not have state income taxes, which is a great segue into our next category, which is the cost of living. Overall, the cost of living in Cedar Hill is 7% higher than the national average. Now, if you break it down into the housing category, you're paying roughly around the same as the national average. From a utilities perspective, you're paying 10% more, and from a groceries perspective, you're paying about 2% less. And when it comes to Cedar Hill transportation, you're paying 10% less than the national average. So at this point, you might be thinking, Jaime, Cedar Hill is incredible. If that's you, awesome. I invite you to connect with our top realtors down below. However, if you're still on the fence, that's okay too. I want to give you two comparable cities for you to consider. I want you to check out DeSoto, and I also want you to check out Grand Prairie. And I know I shouldn't say this because I will get in trouble. However, since you're here, I'll go ahead and let you in on the secret. There's actually a city in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex that charges 0% in property taxes, and that city is